So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like like dick theater. I've imagined your friends.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another week here at By the By.
Yes, welcome back. We've got our sexy Bradford and Angela after midnight voices.
Ooh. It's not after midnight, though.
No, it's
Spoiler
after
alert.
midnight somewhere.
That's true, somewhere it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a in your face. You and your logic.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, we'd like to talk about, you've heard us talk about it a bit before in previous podcasts, but we're still super excited to be part of the Alt Playground family.
Yes.
And we've been digging around on their website, and what it's so kind of cool is that they don't censor sexual identities, which is why I think we wanted to jump in and be part of them on the ground floor, because they don't censor. There's a lot of sites out there that, it's for the straights, as we like to say. But this is definitely a dating website that's for everybody, and it's very inclusive.
Yeah. And it's also, they have things like they've got video profiles, video conferencing. That's kind of a neat feature on there as well.
Yes. They've got the big wall of postageness.
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways on there that you can connect with people, which is really kind of exciting, and it's something fun to explore.
And it's secure, so that's another thing. And like we said last week, there's no bots because it's a pay to play. Mm-hmm. Love it.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so go check it out. That's altplayground.net, and look us up. We're on there. Our podcast is on there, along with a bunch of other amazing podcasters from around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check it out.
Yeah. So we spoke last week about a little project that we have started that we're really excited for. And this past, in fact, last night, yesterday, whenever, we did a watch party for a movie called Audio Guide. And it was directed by the brilliant Chris Elena, who, if you've ever gone to a Rule 34 or heard us talk about Rule 34, you've heard us talk about Chris. He is a great director, a very funny, creative mind. And so we've partnered with Chris and the Rogues, and we are doing a movie, guys. Yeah. We're filming a movie. So we have started crowdfunding for our film, which will start filming. Look, they keep telling me October, and
you have to wait.
I'm so excited to do this. This is something that Chris and I wrote together. And if you are in the polyqueer family, or if you're not, it's something that you're going to see yourself represented as part of the plot. So it centers around some polyqueer folk, and and if you've ever looked at a movie ratings and go, what the fuck? What does that mean? Why? It's going to address that as well. And hopefully you're going to laugh the entire time. So we are officially doing this. The crowdfunding is up.
It's on www.australianculturalfund.org.au.
That's right. And then you just search for Refuse Classification.
Yes.
A short film.
And also, in the meantime, if you want to support Chris Elena and the current project that he's got going, the Audio Guide, the film that's currently being shown with the St. Kilda Film Festival.
Yes.
So you can find it through that at the moment. Go check it out. It's really amazing. It's great. And it kind of gives you an idea of the tone and the work that he does.
Yeah. It's very good. It's short, but it's one of my favorite things I've seen in quite a long time. It's just so nice to see something different. And looking very forward to creating something different with Chris. So support us, support the arts, And go check it out.
Shall we get into the podcast now?
Let's get into the podcast now.
Excellent.
Hello and welcome to a very, very special By the By. I am seated here with two gorgeous people. On my left is
Angela.
And on my right is
the gentleman.
And what is even better than having two sexy people on either side of me, bookending me, I'm shirtless, is having four other fucking amazing human beings stretched all over the goddamn globe. We've got a very special Naughty and Rocket from Western Australia. Say hello, gorgeous people.
Hello, gorgeous people.
I love it so hard.
Fantastic. Well done.
And then on the direct other side of the earth, both hemisphere and homosphere, is Mr. and Mrs. H from the Bed Hoppers.
Who are you calling a homosphere?
Well, good afternoon.
Look, we love everybody on this Zoom meeting right now. Everybody knows that. We've had multiple conversations with you sexy fuckers in the last, in what we now call the now times, not the before times and not the after times. But in the now times, or as we like to call it, the now times, we decided at our last conversation that we needed to do another, because so many people love our
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. Thank you. Our Urban Dictionary podcast. And so many people have shouted out, please, By the Bad podcast, don't. Do another one. Please, whatever you do, don't. Do another Urban Dictionary one. Do another slang one. And we'll stop listening to you. That's the kind of emails and messages that we're getting. So what we decided to do was Mrs. H, apparently it has a plethora
It is a plethora
of naughty words.
I do. A lexicon. Dirty lexicon.
A lexicon. Oh my
Ooh.
God, how British. Of words that she's going to, we're just going to chat about them. We're not going to guess. We're going to guess some.
Some of them you just won't know.
And some of them ones she don't know because, it's Mrs. H. And if you listen to the Bed Hoppers, we love her so
you,
much.
Bradford. I do have a litany of profanities for your listening pleasure today.
And I am so excited to hear you say them because I think it's going to be really turned on.
I'm going to be honest. I have a new text tone. Is just her going, I have a litany of profanities for you. Every time I get a text, I just want to hear that. I have a litany of profanities for
Mine's when
you.
the message comes up, it's just going to go, Lexicon.
Should it not be a sexicon?
Ooh, sexy.
So we're here to fill your phone. Your phone, no matter what brand or gender or whatever your phone is, we want to fill it with naughtiness.
You could also put it on your television.
And we got naughty here in Western Australia.
Yeah.
Woo!
Is he going to fill my phone?
He'll fill your something, baby.
To make things just a little more exciting, we are partaking of some beverages along the way.
Wait.
Because, it's a day of the week.
It must be a day ending in Y.
Absolutely it is.
So it's not tomorrow?
Yeah, so we thought it might add some fun to the frivolities if we have a little drink along the way.
Or at least provide a descent into madness.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have red wine and gin and tonics. What do you guys have?
We have champagne.
Champagne is not that color, sweetheart.
This one is. It's pink. It's, oh my God, Cuvée Rosé Brut.
Okay, because from here it looks more like an Aperol Spritz.
It does. It looks like an Aperol Spritz.
It is definitely not an Aperol Spritz. It is some pink champagne.
Cuvée Rosé Brut sounds like a password to get into a magical fairyland.
Honestly, though, the last time I went to a sauna, somebody asked me for a Cuvée Rosé Brut. And I was like, all right.
Did you show
Turn
how
around.
you can unlock your phone with your penis?
It can be done. We've proved that.
I know, I saw it.
I wonder if I can still do it.
I wonder
my
if you could
God.
do it if you stuck googly eyes on it and used facial recognition.
As soon as I get one of those high-tech phones where I can try that, I'll do that.
Angela's got one.
Yeah, but it's got her face on it, and I mean, her face is beautiful. The last thing I need to do is add my penis to it.
We can change it to your penis for a little while. We can always put it back.
I could add my penis to a face.
You know what I love is like that's your first major line of this podcast. Honestly, I could not write something better.
Do you know what, right? Yeah, last night we were watching Return to Oz, and I commented to Mr. H that, was it Mumra? The evil...
Mombi.
Mombi.
Not Mumra.
Well, Mombi, whatever her name was.
I don't know.
So-
Mom bra is a terrifying thing. Like mom jeans. Fuck
I
that.
commented to Mr. H that she had this selection of heads, and I said, I would really like a different head each day of the week. And can you imagine what he said to me? Yes. Why don't you elucidate, Mr. H? What did you say?
No, I don't think I need to add to this. I think there's so many different answers. I was almost spoilt for choice on
You didn't know where to begin with your pun, did
Should
you?
we just leave it up to the listener's imagination as to what was said?
Hashtag swinger life.
Yeah, please send in your favourite to our Twitter account. You might win some bed hopper points.
Send in your favourite head.
Yes.
Nominate your favourite head.
Hashtag head in Oz.
Oh my god.
Except Roadhead would not be in that list of heads, would it, dear?
I thought this was a university band topic.
Only if you've had pizza. Only if you've had pizza. And are in a mom SUV. Truck.
Soccer mom truck.
A soccer mom truck.
It sounds oddly specific.
So I want to add that in the preamble to this podcast, before we had this podcast actually recording, I did make a joke about the Roadhead situation, and I was called out because I said Mr. H denied Roadhead in a soccer mom van, to which I was very quickly shut down by our friends in Western Australia. I think I hurt somebody's feelings, and I'm really apologizing to Naughty right now. That look, I did say it was a soccer mom van, and you're right, it doesn't have the automatic sliding doors. It's a soccer mom SUV / truck. Apparently, it's a Prada, which I thought was a type of bag or a store in Vegas. Wasn't sure. But that is exactly.
Apparently, it is neither a bag nor a store in Vegas. It is instead a vehicle in which you deny Roadhead.
Exactly. And
do you think he's found
I think that should go in their brochure.
Down the back of the seat yet, though?
Deny Roadhead from the best. Prada.
Sales have been down this time.
Sales are down, but you're not.
It's a Toyota with their tagline.
It's fresh to say
Toyota
Roadhead
Prada.
will never leave
You'll
you,
get
dear.
nada.
That was good.
I'm at that perfect point of alcohol. If I drink anymore, I should just I also think I could win a game of pool.
Mm-hmm. Ultimate water and wine.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
should we get into the, as they say where we're from, the meat and taters of this podcast?
Sure.
I want to hear some of these profanities.
I want to hear some of these profanities.
Yeah.
Come on, cuss at us.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness! So where do we start, dear?
Well,
We
you're the
have
one.
so
This
much.
is your list here, so you can.
Oh my god! It's like a Pandora's box.
What I would
of
suggest, though,
profanity.
as you're reading through these, that you tick the ones that you've covered, lest we cover them again.
That is an excellent suggestion. Okay, all right. I think we'll launch straight in there with some quirky little phrasing and see if you know what it might be referring to. Okay, so if I was to refer to a bear trapper's hat.
A bear trapper's hat.
My God, I hope that's a.
Oh, is this an uncircumcised penis?
No, I'm
No.
hoping it's a. I'm hoping it's an untrimmed vagina.
Oh, it's an excessively hairy front bottom.
Wait, hang on. Let's stop right there. Did you say an excessively hairy front bottom?
I did.
Because there's a lot of directional things there that I'm not understanding.
An excessively hirsute lady garden.
Lady.
See, she's answering.
So you're talking about a lady gag.
Hang on.
Just one term after another. A lady garden.
You're answering.
Bottom.
This is just my normal vocabulary.
Hey, a fucking axe wound, mate. The bloody gash.
So,
The hairy axe wound.
so basically, it is a lot of pubic hair on a woman. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I'm still concerned with this front bottom.
Have you never heard? Well, this is where we're going to have a good discussion. You've never heard of a lady garden referred to as a front bottom?
What do you call your anus your back bottom? Point to your back bottom.
What's
your bottom?
cracking me up, Mrs. H, is that you're calling it your lady garden and all sorts of other strange phrases that people won't necessarily be aware of. So you're answering.
I'm answering it with another one.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk amongst ourselves for a second because the door is gone. Not a euphemism.
Is Mrs. Brown at the window?
Wait,
No, the brown dog's barking at the back door.
Back bottom.
yeah, she's about to create a Yoko. Oh no!
So maybe we should move on to then some phrasing around terms.
Wait, no.
for
I'm
this
not done with
front
back bottom thing.
Front bottom.
What do you call your butt?
Bottom.
Okay, but you don't specify as back bottom.
No, of course not. Let me say.
So your bottom, but you have to denote the front bottom, which is your vagina.
I genuinely have heard it referred to as front bottom, especially when I was younger. People in school would say it's your front bottom.
I'm going to have to back up Mrs. H on that.
Really?
Thank you.
So it's
Naughty used to refer to if somebody had a baby and it was a girl, he would tell me they'd had a front bum.
Interesting.
So, okay. So I just want to say, when Angela and I first moved to Australia, the people that we moved in with, all I really remember from that first week, which was mostly time zone changes, jet lag, and fucking stress from moving to Australia, was the fellow that we moved in with screaming at Julia Gillard, which if you don't know who she is, count yourself fucking lucky, as that fucking stupid front bum.
It's not a
So
bottom.
now
It's
it
a
all
bottom.
makes sense.
Well, okay. So maybe if I talk about a few more terms then that could be used to describe the front bottom.
why don't you just say vagina?
You know, why don't you say vagina?
Because other words are so much funnier, like bearded clam.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The bearded clam. Oh, you must
That
have
one I know. Yeah, yeah.
You know
I've heard
that.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All
That's
right, okay.
in Family Guy, the quahog, the bar is called the bearded clam.
Excellent. Yes. Excellent reference. So we've heard this. I mean, some very, very, very common ones that you hear, particularly in Britain, which I don't like because you know I don't like the P word anyway. Pussy.
Which word?
Penis?
Pussy. I
Penis?
don't like it. I don't like
Say it
it.
again. What was it?
Pussy.
What about
What-
vulva?
I'm sorry. You're breaking up really bad when you say the word. Say it slowly and clearly.
No, because I don't like that word.
Wait.
You will hear.
Wait. Which word?
Right. I'm going to say it one more time for you.
Okay.
Pussy.
Sweet. Now I've got a new text tone. Every time I get a text, it's going to be Mrs. H. Pussy. Pussy. Pussy.
So some less nice terms then, sort of colloquial terms would be minge, quim, clunge. These are not nice terms. You won't hear me using
Quivering
these.
quim.
Which was how in Avengers Loki
Yes,
said
mewling
the worst
quims.
word that was ever said in American
Yeah.
theaters.
Yep.
She's what?
He said, "You quivering quim."
Mewling.
Mewling.
Mewling
Quim.
quim. That's right. Thank you. Mewling quim. And American editors, whatever, didn't know what that word meant, so they're like, it's fine.
So while we were watching that film in the cinema, Mrs. H literally stood up and said, "That's my word."
I didn't stand up in the cinema and say that, but I was delighted to
All
hear
of
the word
Britain went, "Sit
mewling
down,
quim.
you mewling cunt." Sit down, front bum.
But I wouldn't have said minge and I wouldn't have said clunge because they are very derogatory. And
So
they're
for me,
up there
plunge
with pussy.
sounds like a brand of conditioner.
Oh,
Clunge? No?
plunge sounds
Minge?
more like cleavage to me because like a plunging.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Ah,
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. If I had to guess, I would have gone
Yeah.
cleavage.
Clunge sounds like conditioner. It's like, oh, well, I had herbal essence for my shampoo, but mewling clunge for my conditioner.
Is everything going to be mewling today?
I do like that word. It's great.
I need a deep clunge treatment for my hair.
Don't we all, sweetheart? I find that a deep plunge softens my beard.
I try to help soften as much as possible.
So another word you might hear, but I know Americans use is fanny. So I know you guys use that to refer to your bottom. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like
Our
we use
back
that-
bottoms.
the back
The
bottom.
back
the back
bottom.
bottom
Fanny.
specifically.
It means the front bottom here.
Yeah, here that means
That's
your vagina. So
Yeah,
fancy.
so in the US, you have a fanny pack, which you call a bum bag.
yeah, we
yeah,
would
bum
call
bag.
that a bum bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call
so
it a fanny
fanny
pack.
is your vagina. So
Yeah.
to hear fanny referred to over here means that you're a vagina, basically.
I feel
All
really
right.
So
sorry
I
for
think you
people out there whose names are actually Fanny.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that's going to.
Oh, Fanny Craddock was a very popular sort of cook, sort of in the 1940s, I think. She was like,
It's
She could-
before my time.
For a long time, I always thought that song was "Take a Load on Fanny."
God, I don't want to know what you thought "Come On Eileen" was about.
Does anyone know what that song is about?
I
I'm still not sure.
I don't know, but if your name is Eileen, stay away from the gentleman. I mean, unless that's your thing. Hi, my name's Eileen. Really? hang on.
As that's happening, I like to think in the background, and you can just hear do 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 do.
I'm going to need some isotonic drinks. It's going to be a long night.
Oh my God, that's
Oh, dear. So another term you might hear over here is twirling the pearl.
That's got to be a lady masturbating. That's got to.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Twirling the pearl. Yeah, I really like that.
The only reason I know that is the first couple of pearls I found were covered in sand. Also, the clam was shut so tightly, it was very difficult to get into them. What I have found, however, is the older I get, the more open and ready they are. Like, these pearls are jumping out. I had a pearl necklace with the gentleman just last week.
One of my favourite phrases is "little man in a boat."
That would be the clitoris.
Yeah,
It is, absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
in that boat, it's usually covered in semen.
So I know that Bradford knows this phrase because there exists a photo of Bradford and I jumping into a little boat and laughing hysterically to ourselves as we called ourselves the little men in the boat.
Where is that picture?
I don't know. We're the little men in the boat.
Okay, if you find that picture, I give permission to post it.
Okay.
We definitely do have that picture somewhere.
I think
We need
Mrs.
to find
H took that picture, which is probably
I
why I've not
did.
seen it.
Oh my God, maybe I have it on my phone. I will search for it. Okay.
Can you not do that now, though? Do you want to carry on with the...
I'm going to carry on.
Okay, good.
I'm going to go straight into beef curtains.
I love beef curtains.
Beef curtains.
Yeah,
Would that be the labia?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It would indeed be the labia. So the beef curtains.
So I'm a big fan of beef curtains. Both in name and in actual, like, I love to have my mouth on like sucking on labia.
I like when you
Yes.
suck my beef curtains.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
Yeah.
good stuff. Like, and I'm like, I'm going to give you my special sauce. Your two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese.
How do you feel about
Pickled
beef
onion
curtain
on a
dripping?
sesame seed bun?
Oh, that's not a nice phrase.
Beef curtain dripping.
Oh, I don't like that phrase.
Oh my God. Oh, I didn't realize I ordered extra ketchup.
Better than ordering extra cheese.
Which reminds me of if you're in the States, or if you've ever been to the States, or if you're going to the States, when you can go to the States, In-N-Out burgers are my absolute favorite hamburgers of all times. And you go there and you get double animal style, which is the way I like my beef curtains, which is why Angela and I are now married.
Very true.
That is beautiful. And my own personal one, which is Janine. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
Is
so
that
where did
what
that
you call
come
your
from?
personal one?
I don't even know where this came from. I've just referred to it as my Janine.
Is that something
so
that you
long?
commonly hear in Britain? Is Janine commonly used?
I mean, you might commonly hear people saying, "Oh, that woman's thrown her cat at people," That's something I've heard quite a bit.
Right.
Stop throwing your cat
Once
at
again,
people.
what was that?
What was that?
Throwing your cat at someone.
Being promiscuous.
Mostly being
like,
promiscuous.
and flirting with someone.
Yeah, or being a skank. There you go. Skank.
Yeah, but we do that in the States. We're skanky.
But you wouldn't say you're throwing your cat at someone.
No, God, no. Unless we actually were working for the RSPCA.
Yeah, okay.
But wait. I want to go back to Janine for a second.
Yeah, sure.
So, Mrs. H, do you think that you ever went to school with somebody named Janine who might then listen to your podcast and go, and be scandalized?
She's named her Quim after me.
I reckon it sounds like the sort of thing that your parents might, like put your Mimi away or put your
yes,
Janine
Mimi.
away.
Absolutely. Oh, your Fufu.
Your Fufu.
Do you know that Mimi was the name of my great grandmother?
A lot of grandparents or grandmothers, I would say, in the U.S. are called Mimi.
A lot of grandparents
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Really?
are named
I know a
after
few
the
people whose grandmothers are called Mimi. Which always cracks me up.
But
So what are other British? Let's see, we'll get back to you. We'll get to that in a second. What are other like British names for your genitalia
For you, hoo-ha.
and your pee-pee?
Your
your pee-pee.
Well, because arguably we've had a
Muff
few
is very
Australians
common.
call their penis doodle, and
Yeah.
I love it
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, excuse my cheese doodle.
So Muff is quite a cute one, I suppose, because it sounds quite cute, doesn't it? My
Yeah,
Muff.
but that
But it
derives
sounds so
from having
tween.
that comes from earmuffs. So like to have your head down there and to have your
down
head
there.
covered. I think doodle was in The Simpsons as a reference to penis once.
Well, in the movie, yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Doodle was probably the standard from my childhood.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, mine
See,
too.
Willy was the standard from my childhood, I think. It was
Oh,
boys would refer to their Willy.
No, it was John Thomas for
John
us.
Thomas.
John Thomas. Put your John Thomas away.
Tallywhacker.
Who the hell is
Tallywhacker.
that?
Who's John Thomas?
He was
It's
a real
just a-
dick.
It's just a euphemism for penis.
Hello, my name is John Thomas Wang.
See, I did know someone called John Thomas, which was quite confusing. But it was a phrase that's quite
Yeah,
quite
it's
popular.
synonymous with penis.
I think my doctor once used John
Let's have a
Thomas.
look at John Thomas
Yeah.
then.
Wow.
I mean, I just met him in the street. I don't know why he wanted to see it there.
I mean, it was that dark alley behind the dumpster.
I didn't even make it to the dumpster.
Oh my god. Well, I think we should move on to the penis.
Wait. Hang on. I'm not done yet.
No?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Because in the U.S., like Johnson is one that
Yes.
growing up, that was
Yeah.
because we had a brand of T-shirts when I was in high school, and probably you as well. Big Johnson, and it was like you would have like Big Johnson T-shirts. Did Johnson never make it to Australia or the?
I think
John Thomas definitely, but I don't really think,
think
I've
Johnson-
heard much about Johnson.
I think I know of it more from just watching Austin Powers and that delightful.
Same thing, yeah. I don't think it was a thing before that.
But it never really made it into the lexicon of the country then.
No, I don't think so. You probably would have understood what someone meant, but it wouldn't have been a phrase you heard often. I don't.
Yeah.
And I've also heard Mr. H call it his peen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
that's one of my
I've
favourites. Peen.
never heard of that
Peen.
until he said it, and I only understood what he was talking about via context.
Is that just the shortening of the word penis, or is
Yeah,
it
I
like
think
a
so.
ball peen hammer kind of thing?
No, I think it is more around. I think it's derived from like Essex slang because I've heard that quite a bit. So, my peen, like the penis.
I like the
Wait,
way she
what's
said
the
it's
Cockney
derived from
word?
Essex slang, and then she said it in her normal accent.
Well, I'm not from Essex. So.
You know, like
Wait, what's the Cockney word for penis?
I would
Question.
say Percy. You're Percy or you're John Thomas.
I put your
Percy.
Percy
Percy, you've
away.
heard it referred to as a Percy.
no, never,
No?
no.
Oh, I've heard it referred to as a Percy.
I think this is just something you've put into that you've made up in your head. That looks like a Percy.
No, I've heard that one. When I was my parents had a statue of a clown, and he was looking down, and his pants came out from his belly around in a circle, and that was actually a pot. for a plant, and they had a tall cactus growing out of it. And it was called Prickly Percy.
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
that's fantastic.
That is gold. See,
Yeah.
that's why we didn't want you muted. That's fucking great. Oh, your naughty parents. They'd be so proud of you.
Dinkle. Dinkle is definitely something I've heard quite a bit.
Yeah,
Dinkle?
Dinkle.
Dinkle. I think that's one you'd use with kids, though. Like,
But like my thing is, when you think about this, guys, when you're like in a swinger situation, you're like, oh yeah, suck my dinkle. Yeah,
I don't know, that was kind of working for me.
like, no wonder I'm not getting laid. Want to see my Percy? I hear it's quite prickly.
Or would you prefer us to say your purple-headed warrior?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
actually.
That's
Yes.
majestic,
See-
isn't it?
If
Yeah,
Mrs.
I
H
will-
had offered me Road Percy, I'd have been fine with it.
Road Dinkle, dear?
Road
No,
dinkle.
Road Percy. That's all I'm going to accept and nothing less.
So yeah, the
I just
purple-headed
wanna-
warrior.
I just want to
quite
drop my
majestic.
drawers and have somebody go, "This is Sparta." I mean, like 300 have been there.
I have heard of the purple-headed yogurt spitter.
Yeah.
I like the purple-headed warrior because it sounds really like fierce.
Well, and he's got a helmet on too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but he vomits at like 3 push-ups. 3 push-ups and he's barfing all over himself. and then he
3.
slinks off in shame.
That's twice as much as normal.
Bald-headed monk.
Well, that was
No.
a conversation.
That was my
killer, wasn't it?
nickname for my grandmother.
And these are all grandmother names as well.
Bald-headed monk definitely is something I've heard quite a lot. Have you heard that?
I've mostly heard you use that,
Oh.
to be fair.
I've never
Fine.
heard that.
Is it a circumcised
Really?
penis?
No, it's more the top of the penis. So when the foreskin is pulled back, or if it's an uncircumcised or a
So the head
circumcised
of the
penis,
penis.
So he's got a
actual
cowl
head.
on.
The glands.
It's the fact that it's also reading religious literature at the same time that makes the difference.
Wait, Mrs. H, did you go to Catholic school?
No, I did not.
Did you go to school?
I did. But it was in Wales, though. Welsh school, I think, had its own peculiar lexicon of stuff. Yeah.
So what I understand is in Wales, they like their men like they like their soup. Thick country veg.
God. Well, no, I can't comment on that.
Oh, you're just speechless.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Well
like,
done.
all right, it's almost first orgasm speechless.
No, that was much more teary than anything else.
Oh
I think.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
tearful. Yeah, it was extremely tearful.
That was a bit more moist.
From her face.
All right, how about the one-eyed trouser snake?
Oh, please. We all know that
We
one.
know.
Yeah.
Go, I didn't say
Yeah, I mean, it's a viper that can poison you.
The one-eyed trouser snake. I like that. How about a wang?
Wang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wang's all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wang. I mean, yeah, Wang's. I mean, look, is it?
Because
the-
you hang out with your wang out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And Wang Chung.
See, wang to me for some reason.
Everybody have fun tonight.
I
was
often
just
imagine
thinking-
a wang as being really big, like wang, like a big
really?
wang. Yeah.
See, I always
That's the
thought
descriptive noise.
I thought the difference because of the automatopoeia, where you go, wing.
You're just pronouncing it wrong. You want to say wang.
Yeah, wang.
Wang.
Whereas a chode, that's derogatory and that's an unpleasant penis.
Isn't a chode a creature that lives under the streets in New York and London that comes out to attack children
So
at
the
night?
chode is a penis that is as wide as it is long. So
like
it's a short,
like a tuna can.
short, fat penis.
Yeah.
Chode. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like short and stubby or something.
Stubby. Yeah, short, stubby penis.
Or just as wide as it is long. So if it's a
Yeah.
really long one, it's like
It's just
super
really-
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super chode.
There's a lot of girth to that one.
Hope you like Pringles, baby. I love it. We have audience members actually raising their hands. We know, naughty. We know.
How about the testicles? Let's move on for testicles.
How about the testicles?
I like testicles personally.
I love testicles. I mean, obviously, most people would refer to them as balls, maybe, but we have some nice British ones like the crown jewels.
Well, that sounds
Crown
fancy.
jewels, yeah.
It is fancy. It's very fancy. So the
Do you
crown
ever
jewels
wonder what your
obviously
queen calls them?
must be protected at all costs. They are very, very, very pricey, and you mustn't damage them. So the crown jewels to me would imply, oh my god, these testicles are amazing. Like don't hurt them, don't damage them, treat them with respect.
They're also called the family jewels.
And the family jewels, yeah.
I would argue that all testicles should be treated as crown
Oh
jewels.
yeah, we should absolutely.
But does that mean that when you're teabagging someone, they're technically being crowned?
Yes, definitely.
No.
It's a knighting.
They're being bejeweled.
Arise, Sir Balls a lot.
Oh my god, that's so great.
Yeah. So you bollocks is quite common over here.
Yeah, we hear that in Australia as well. Bollocks.
I always thought bollocks was like a shit or fuck
Yeah,
or like
bullshit. Yeah.
It is, but it's after your testicles.
Yeah.
Well, I thought bollocks was after your ass.
No.
Oh.
I mean, you can play with the ass after you finish playing with your balls, but
Yeah. Bollocks and knackers, two very common
knackers.
British terms
Yeah.
for testicles.
I've actually heard people say bollocks down here quite often.
Well, but bollocks, I think, bollocks in Oz kind of means bullshit.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's still like balls.
Yeah.
It's got a dual.
No, it's not balls.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Like if
But no,
someone's telling you a
Yeah, but
lie,
when you
can
say-
call it out and say that's bollocks.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't actually literally mean they're talking about bullshit when they spout bullshit.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't think that. No, you don't think that.
Because when you say it, that's bollocks. You're like, that's a lie. That's not
Yeah.
true.
But
That's what.
when you
bullshit
say
is.
bullshit, you're saying that's a lie. That's not true. You're not saying that you are a male steer or you're a steer that is producing fecal waste.
Mrs. Brown came through the window.
Yeah.
No, that's right. But I'm saying that that's a
Yeah.
lie.
Right, exactly. So it's a euphemism. It's a synonym.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah. Just
So you
just
would
that
also
gentleman.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna respect your right to be wrong.
You're lucky you're pretty.
I mean, you might hear people over here saying, "Oh, I've got Betty Swallocks," which is like sweaty bollocks.
yeah.
Yeah. Your
Oh,
Betty
because they
Betty
switched the
Swallocks.
first letter. Betty's
Yeah,
second.
yeah, Betty Swallocks. That's quite common, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had somewhere I was going, and then
So that's sweaty balls. That's
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
Okay.
Betty Swallocks.
Yeah, someone kick you in
That's a
the.
while.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I forgot where I was going.
Okay. I'm going to move on to the Rusty Sheriff's badge.
The
Whoa,
rusty
whoa, whoa.
shower
Say that
sponge.
again.
Wait,
Whoa! The Rusty Sheriff's badge.
so what I love is what he said. What he said was better. The rusty shit.
The gentleman said the rusty shower sponge. And I still didn't catch what Mrs. H said.
I don't care.
The Rusty Sheriff's badge.
Sheriff's
The
badge.
rusty
Yeah.
sheriff's
I don't
badge.
care what it is. From now on, it's the rusty shower sponge. That's better. I don't know what it is, but this is better.
What the
So
hell?
the-
That's an anus.
It is the Rusty Sheriff's badge.
It's a little star.
Or the chocolate starfish. Chocolate starfish.
It's your chocolate starfish.
Yeah,
Okay.
or as I like to call it, the rusty shower sponge.
I think Rusty Shower Sponge was the title of my 7th seminal album.
But does that mean that does that just mean it soaks up everything?
I love that it was seminal.
It was a landmark way forwards in musical history.
But I thought we were supposed to eject things from the anus, not soak them up.
Except unless it's seminal.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it's rusty because it's been cleaning.
I mean, also associated with the rusty trombone, which.
Well, yes. One of my favorite things in the world is a rusty trombone. What? I'm a musician.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm an artist. I love. We've lost Naughty again.
I think we've gone too naughty for naughty.
All right. Okay. So that's a few penis.
Wait. So stop. You're rushing through these. You're moving too fast.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. H.
Right.
Mrs. H. How do you feel about a rusty shower sponge and a rusty trombone? Give us your feelings.
On the rusty shower sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty special term you've coined there, the gentleman.
Yeah. Do you like your own rusty shower sponge?
Do you mean, do I like my own rusty shower sponge being played with?
We'll get to that. Do you like it in general first?
Well, it's part of me. So
She's been trying to have a rusty shower sponge-ectomy for years now. She might have to settle for a rusty shower sponge.
I don't know where you're going with this one.
Plastomy or something.
Oh God. Do you mean like vaginoplasty?
Yeah.
Where because I wanted that for so long. I really wanted to get.
Why? I love
my
your
labia.
vagina.
Oh God. No, I really wanted to reduce it and not have it quite so vast and clown's pockety.
Did you want to
there you go, clown's pocket.
trim the beef curtains?
Okay.
Remove some of the
But
kebab
I
meat.
think that
What the world wants to see is a magic trick where you pull scarves out of your vagina.
But what I think that you were asking about, Bradford, was the rusty spongectomy, shower spongectomy.
That's a whole new question, a whole new line of questions.
Right.
Like, wait, what? To quote Mrs. H, wait, what? Did
I say that about 15 times
you want
a
a
day.
doctor to go snipping around your
Yeah, sure.
your brown starfish?
No,
Your balloon knot?
No, just the beef curtains. I would have liked those to be reduced, but
Would you?
Just the front bump.
Okay, if you do that, will you send them to me? Because I really like them.
in a little jar.
I suggested...
I want to make earrings.
No. The best way forwards is to trim them and then have them grafted to a forehead, Klingon style, all the way
Oh
up
my
as little
God.
ridges. Kapla! You have no idea how pleased I am with that joke.
No, I do. I think you're really, really exceptionally pleased with that.
I am so turned on right now that my shower sponge is doubly rusty. Okay, so moving on. Do you like your shower sponge played with?
When the mood takes me.
And although you can't partake in a rusty trombone, how do you feel about a rusty banjo?
Oh my God.
Well, because you're doing the picking thing with your fingers.
the picking thing.
I'm country.
Oh my God. Can you use that in a sentence for me, please?
Yeah. Mrs. H really enjoyed as I played her clit like a rusty banjo. She enjoyed it because my mouth was on her brown shower sponge.
Oh my God.
Rusty. Sorry.
Rusty shower sponge.
Her rusty shower sponge as I played her clitoris.
Has you played her Rainbow Connection?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Oh God.
That does take a whole new question to what's on the other side.
It's the sponge, my friend, the sponge.
And I thought it was my mouth.
Oh dear. Although I have heard it referred to as a balloon knot, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Balloon knot.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I've never heard
So
that
that's kind of
before.
what it looks like. It's
Yeah.
like a little
Puckered.
I would
and-
just as soon not go near your balloon knot. Instead, I'll stick to your.
You know a song about the anus?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Stephen Lynch. He says, "I love put." setting women's minds at rest.
It's actually quite good. You should look it up.
It's great. It's a song about being a gynecologist.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Does he refer to the clitoris as the devil's doorbell?
No, he doesn't, but he
should.
He should.
Devil's doorbell.
I mean,
Yeah,
if that's
the
it,
devil's
Satan is
doorbell.
coming.
Yeah.
That's why
I quite like the
Angela's always
devil's
like,
doorbell.
Satan's coming.
Yeah. He's always knocking down there. Yeah.
Mr. H, what's your favourite term for the rusty shower sponge?
There's too many choices now.
There are too many choices.
You've opened up a whole new world that I need to go and
Is that what you call yours? A whole new world?
As Disney said, honey, I can show you the world.
Unbelievable sights and indescribable feelings, Bradford.
Yeah.
That's it.
Depending on what you're doing with it.
Betcha. It's truth.
Soaring, tumbling, freewheeling.
I have offered you more than once. And each time you decline.
I know.
Although
man.
I will say, you were the first man. I was the first man you kissed.
That's
This
true.
is true.
You were.
Absolutely. And I fucking missed it. So annoyed.
Do you know how much grief she gave me for that? She's still pissed off at it.
So annoyed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a T-shirt the next time I see her that says, "I was the first man Mr. H kissed," and then on the back it will say, "And Mrs. H missed it."
And all Mrs. H got was this lousy T-shirt.
that I'm wearing. Yeah, great.
Yeah. I am forever ruining the day that happened.
Ruining
The day.
Ruining. Are you making a soup?
Rue the day.
Yeah, roux. You make a roux. You make a gumbo. It's great. You bake some flour and some butter and some oil. It's fantastic. Mm.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the South, baby.
Anyhow, moving on.
All right.
So we've now got a series of just random words that Mrs. H seems to like.
These are some of my favourite words. You'll hear these freely scattered amongst my everyday vocabulary.
Apart from the first one, because
Especially when
I'm
I'm
not
driving.
entirely sure she knows what it means. But
I do know what it
it's
means.
a bit too street for
It's
my wife.
very street. I don't really use it, but a lot of the younger demographic use this word.
Okay, so before you start, I just want to say a word I would never use to describe you is street.
No, I would agree.
Boulevard, maybe,
I'm
but never street.
definitely not street.
Avenue.
Cul-de-sac.
A crescent. Thanks, I'm not a cul-de-sac.
You are the only person I've found
wait.
that's got lost in
Is
a
it
cul-de-sac
cul-de-
before.
Is it cul-de-sac because we like drive in and turn around and?
No, it's because that's where you keep your family jewels in your cul-de-sac.
Okay.
All right, this is a word that it's not really a swear word. It's just a normal. It's peng. So peng. Yeah.
Like hunger pangs.
Like what?
Peng.
No, peng.
P-E-N-G.
Peng. Yeah, you might hear it prefaced with bear.
Yeah.
Bear peng. Yeah.
Use it in a sentence, please.
This
That burrito was bear pang.
Yeah, this champagne is bear peng. Yeah. So essentially, it is a word that says something is exceptionally good.
It means that you like it a lot. And bear means very.
Yeah, like bear milf, bear peng, bear safe.
Why would something be very milf?
I've heard that said
Did you
before.
Did you say bear milf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
know
like
what that means,
bear
right?
milf? Yeah, I do. I've heard people say bear milf.
So while we were going through, while
No.
Mrs. H was going through this list yesterday, she was like, MILF, that's a phrase that no one will have heard of. I'm like, for fuck's
No, I know people know that phrase. I just didn't realise how widespread it was as a word.
Do you know about SILF? What's SILF? And DILF?
I know about gilf and milf.
DILF?
I'm assuming that's dad.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And SILF?
Is that son?
Sister? No.
Sheep.
Oh, God.
Come on. Wales? I thought you would be all over that. Our New Zealand cohort love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not bad.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I think your joke was a little woolly.
No, we're not descending into sheep
I love
puns.
you guys so much.
Did you do that one on the hoof?
Watch out. She's about to put you out to pasture.
I'm not carrying on down this because this.
Take your pants off. Show us your barn doors.
The front or the back barn doors?
The back barn door.
All right, we'll move on from Peng.
The
We've covered
barn
it.
door sounds like it might be the back door of a larger unit.
Is this around the window?
She has a massive fucking barn door.
Honestly, I'd stick my head in it.
I might just jump into this one
All right.
of my favourite phrases, which is dropping the boys off at the pool.
Boo.
What? What's wrong with that?
Look, I'd rather you hear about your Aunt Janine at the brown window. I don't know. What was it? Mrs. Brown at the window.
Mrs. Brown at the window.
Yeah, you probably don't want Janine as part of that. Keep Janine away from Mrs. Brown.
Well, the two things are linked, aren't they? You know, dropping the boys off at the pool and Mrs. Brown at the window.
Do you actually use that? Mr. H, does when
Oh
she
my
goes
God, he's
to food,
always using that phrase.
Yeah, dropping the boys off the pool is fairly standard.
Right.
But does she say it?
No, I don't say it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Not really, no.
No, it makes me laugh when I hear it.
Oh.
So I think one I have heard you say before.
Oh, I
that
say
one.
this all the time. A bulldog eating porridge.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, we had never heard that until some Australian friends told us about it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he was
love
like,
that
I
phrase.
was given advice on how to go down on a woman. And I was told to go down on her like a bulldog eating porridge.
I'd never heard that until we moved to Australia, but it has clearly made it down here. And it's lovely. I love that phrase.
It is amazing.
It's used in a couple of contexts as well. So you
Yeah.
can use it as to go down on someone like a bulldog eating porridge, but it can also
slobbery
be
and-
describing the aftermath of,
Yeah.
of sex afterwards, where the lady parts are excreting whatever's been deposited there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
Messy.
love that while you're talking, Mr. H, Naughty is like imitating a bulldog eating porridge.
Because the rocket's going, I don't get it.
Oh, really?
I bet Rocket gets it.
Well, tonight that can be on the agenda for you to see if you can replicate a
Yeah.
bulldog eating
Yeah.
porridge.
If you play your cards right.
Absolutely.
So the friends of ours, actually, he got a T-shirt that says like a bulldog eating porridge, and it's a picture of a dog over a bowl of porridge. And it's like going everywhere. It's fucking great.
Not particularly linked,
like
but
that.
also a fun phrase is batting on a wet wicket. So good.
That's a cricket thing. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Unless
but
asking me
it
about
means
the team.
basically not the first man there. So like not
Say it
the
again.
first-
Oh, okay.
batting on a wet wicket.
Yeah, sloppy seconds kind of
Yeah,
thing.
sloppy seconds.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I
get
don't
it.
understand it. It's sporty. That's
I don't. Yeah, I'm like I don't get it.
That sounds very British.
That was my least favorite spice.
like sporty.
Yeah, sporty spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we'll move on from the bulldog eating porridge then. So should we go back to the
You can go back to
fun
this.
words?
Okay, you
The
covered
fun words.
Peng.
My absolute favourite word at the moment is meat flute. Because it just seems to fit so many
Angela
people.
was a flautist in high school.
I was, yeah.
Meat flute. I love it. I just love it. It just sums up so many people perfectly. You're a meat flute.
Angela got her doctorate in meat flutology.
Yeah. I started with, like a metal flute, and then I moved to a meat flute. And yeah, it's great.
And now you're proficient
It's
at
much better.
And I'm still
playing the pink
recorder.
oboe.
I've
Playing the
never
pink
made
oboe.
it past the veg flute first. I mean, I'm still trying to master that.
You still get some amazing sounds out of it, though, don't you?
Yeah, it sounds like a bulldog eating porridge.
So yeah, meat flute and playing the pink oboe are very orchestral.
Playing the pink hobo.
Yeah,
Oboe.
oboe, not a hobo.
Oh my God! Playing the pink hobo. Oh, that's
Oh, that's
great.
amazing. That's amazing.
Although
Playing, yeah.
I do like the phrase "played her like a virtuoso."
Oh,
though.
that's nice.
I do.
That's
Oh.
quite
That sounds
classic.
very, very posh, yes.
Does it? Because that sounds like something that a dick would say. Yeah, I played her like a virtuoso.
Well played, Bradford. Good man.
How many? Okay. Sure.
That's not a nice person. That's not something a nice person says.
It does sound posh. though.
Never promise.
That's right. That's right. Overpromise,
Yeah.
underdeliver.
But in keeping with the orchestral theme, then, how about spunk trumpet? That's good. Spunk trumpet. That's great.
What are you starting a band?
Well, we might as well. We have a pink oboe, we have a meat flute, and we have a spunk trumpet.
And don't forget the rusty trombone.
Absolutely. And the rusty shower sponge. But
Squish, 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 squish. Spunk trumpet sounds like Green Day's first run. Like they were like before they became Green Day, they were Spunk Trumpet.
yeah, I like spunk trumpet.
One of the B-sides off
Cockwomble's one of
Dookie.
your favourites, isn't it?
Cockwomble. Cockwomble is a good generic.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot, but it suggests like a level of stupidness with it.
Yeah, like cockwomble, utter cockwomble, like you didn't know, you utter idiot.
So it helps if you know who the Wombles are.
Yeah, Wombles of Wimbledon.
So the Wombles are a children's show from, I don't know, like the 50s or something like this. And there were like these little creatures that went around Wimbledon, as in the tennis place, picking up litter and recycling things. They were tidying up.
And singing.
And they had little noses that twitched. They were sort of stop motion animated.
They're quite delightful, really. Yeah. One was called Orinoco.
Wow.
Uncle Bulgaria. That was another one.
Mrs. H has a Womble in the front room.
I do. I love
True
a
story.
Womble. Yeah. So a cockwomble is quite an endearing term.
It's
but
always
also
damp.
implies stupidity.
You stick its little twitchy nose in your front bum?
No, it's just more of an endearing term for someone who's a bit stupid. Cockwomble.
Yeah.
It's cute. I like
You've
it.
called me that before. I'm not sure.
I have, yeah. It's a nice thing.
Come on,
It means I love you.
You've got a nose that vibrates.
Yeah.
I'm like that lady off of Bewitched.
Yeah.
So I think something I said to you in recent weeks that you questioned, which brought this whole subject up, was I think I referred to someone as a munter, and you were like, "What's a munter?" Do you remember?
I don't remember that, but I can remember thinking, like, now I think, like, munter sounds like something that you, like, oh, my God, I'm so tired. I can't cook tonight. I'm just going to get in the freezer and get a munter and put it in the microwave.
No.
You could be munted.
Use munter in a sentence.
Okay.
I'm going to put a munter in the microwave.
I wouldn't date her. She's a right munter.
Yes.
Or I went out and got drunk and got right munted.
I had my beer goggles on and I caught a right munter.
So you're right as in conservative, right? A conservative munter.
No.
Because that sounds horrible.
Right?
No.
Scary.
It's a not very nice.
It's an ugly person.
An ugly person.
But it can also be used interchangeably for being completely drunk.
Yeah.
So munted instead of cunted.
Munted and cunted. Yeah.
Or muntered.
Yeah. Also interchangeable with minger. Minger is quite derogatory as well for an unattractive person. What minger?
But you wouldn't go out
That's
and
minging.
get minged.
No, you wouldn't get minged.
Or munged.
But you might say, oh, that's minging. That's gross. That's unpleasant.
I'm so confused by English.
Me no English so good.
There's Anglo-Saxon nonsense. I don't know.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
I mean, you'll have heard chav, I'm assuming.
What?
Maybe chav.
So chav is, I think, like your, what is it, a bogan? Like
What's a
your
bogan?
sort of, your hick?
What's a
Like a redneck. Head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chav's
That
like
was great. Chav is like your bogan. What's a bogan?
yeah, like a redneck.
How do you spell that? Is it with an F or with a V?
A V.
Chav.
Yeah.
Okay.
CHAV.
Typically,
chav.
you'll see them running around in some sort of tracksuity thing, or driving like a Ford Fiesta,
Drinking
that's
lager
been
out of a can.
slightly powered up or slightly lowered.
Or the second the sun comes out, they'll walk down
There
a
is
high street
nothing
with a
wrong
shirt
with
off.
drinking lager out of a can.
Yeah.
Miss Pink Champagne. Like, because I don't want to be that guy, but you're getting kind of munted on a minga of a drink.
This is not minging.
You leave my wife's rusty shower sponge out of this.
She's getting gently cunted.
She's having a Charlemagne enema.
Oh dear, I love that. All right, let's have a good old wanker. Everyone's had wanker, right?
Boo.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I wasn't sure if that was something that you hear more here, but mating the beast with two backs. We haven't had mating the beast with two backs.
You make the beast with two backs. You don't
making the beast with two backs. Sorry,
you don't mate it.
No,
it's like you don't get two sets of couples and just mash them together in some delightful.
That's why we have the gentleman here, so he can mate the beast with two backs.
I'm a beast with two backs.
Oh dear me.
We'll be later.
Well, Mr. H, what's your favourite swear word of the moment?
I don't really have a favourite swear
What?
word. I kind of. It changes as you go through, so it depends on what you've heard a lot of. So, and how irritated you are. I'm quite into cunt at the moment as a bit of a swear word.
That's abrasive, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's because as we look out the window and see the world out there are a bunch of cunts out there. And,
That's true.
And
yes,
also
some
twats.
of them are in positions of presidency.
Yes. So interestingly, sort of Trump over here means to fart. So if you were to Trump, it would mean you've farted.
Or you could be a fart knocker. That's a good one. Fart knocker.
Yeah.
Did Trump mean fart before?
Before, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Trump is a really polite British way of saying, "Oh, pop."
Yeah.
I've done a bottom burp.
So it would be something that you might tell your kids to say instead of fart.
Wait, hang on. Say that again.
I've done a bottom burp. That's a Trump. That's a fart. Like a pass wind, break wind.
Okay,
It's not a front bottom burp.
from now on, I'm going to use the phrase, I've done a bottom burp. Exclusive.
Absolutely. A bottom burp.
Excuse me, I have to leave the room. I'm going to bottom burp.
It's a really polite way of saying that you need to pass wind.
In a really polite way.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It is. Yeah, a Trump, a pop.
So did anybody else see the fascination that Trump in Britain means to fart, whereas Johnson in the States means dick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On what face? Where? What country does Scott Morrison mean? Fuckwit. Oh wait, Australia. Thank you.
Yeah.
But fart knocker's also fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cute.
I noticed you've got a few in here that you haven't covered.
Oh gosh, go on then.
So you've got get your end away, which I imagine is fairly universal.
Yeah, get your end away.
No, it's actually not.
It is very much not universal.
Okay, to get your end away means to have sex. So, like, if you were having a date, you might hope to get your end away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like-
Yeah, I've heard that.
Have you ever said it?
It has now.
Did you think you said get
I've
your
heard
sponge
it.
away, just to be sure?
Honestly, I would have thought that meant to get this person away from me. Ugh, get your end away.
I think I've said like to get your end in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would work.
Makes
Get
sense.
your
Okay.
wick wet or dip your wick.
Dip your wick. Yeah, that's quite a common one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your father? Obviously, because British.
So British, aren't we?
Let's go away for a bit of how's your
Bit of
father?
slap and tickle and how's your father?
Yeah. Go away and have sex.
Did you say who or how?
How?
How's your father?
Because who's your father is what very proper British people say during sex. Oh, yes. Who's your father? Spank
he's
me,
the-
father. Spank me, spank me.
He's the Archduke of Huntingdon.
Cravat is over there. Whip me with me cravat.
Whip Me With Your Cravat was my 9th studio album.
Was it also
Wasn't very-
seminal?
No, it was much less popular. It was an acoustic number.
Oh, my God.
Just going through your notes, dear. What else have you got? A Clacton
All
chinwag.
right, a Clacton chinwag. Here we go. Can you try and guess what a Clacton chinwag might be?
I think I can guess it.
Go on.
Guess it?
I know what a chinwag is. I
All
don't know
right.
about the part.
I think a Clacton chin wag is where a woman is going down on a guy and where his balls keep smacking against her chin.
All right, there's some element of truth in there. So it's oral sex that takes place between a man and a woman on her knees who's had a few drinks.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, but I don't know about the ball slapping on my chin.
Sure.
Oh, it's got to. Yeah, I mean, the balls have to slap on the chin.
If you're going down on someone while you're on your knees, then it's going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I suppose it's a
If
good
you're doing it right.
Yeah.
I love the way that Mrs. H is sort of like looking back, like she's almost recalling every blowjob she's ever given. Like,
did balls
You know,
slap
but
on my
ironically,
chin?
she's also recalling every blowjob she wasn't able to give. I'm clapping for myself.
it's because no one else is clapping
Wait,
for you.
hang on. Western Australians, you have something to add?
We don't get it. We need further explanation. We're visualising, but we're not getting it.
The Clapton chin wag, or just generally the act of a woman kneeling down and giving someone a blowjob and getting smacked in the face with a crown jewels?
Well, see, we were envisaging the woman on her knees getting a report from the guy, not the other way around.
Oh, wow.
No!
Okay, number one, in all of these slang terms, when is it ever about the woman's pleasure?
Now?
Apart from the bulldog eating porridge.
No, I think that was mostly about the man getting some porridge.
But the woman's receiving oral.
No, still
No,
getting
she's
porridge.
just holding a bowl of porridge, right?
Yeah.
After she's cooked it.
Oh, God, yes.
Well, it's like feeding the horse, isn't it?
Feeding the horse.
Feeding the horse. I had a little hand gesture to go with it. Feeding the horse.
People are starting to hold out their hands now and feed the horse.
But they're all keeping their thumb clear. Don't keep the thumb anywhere near.
I'm trying to think of things which are very British, like a knocking shop. Then that's what we would call a brothel.
A what?
A knocking shop.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, a brothel. House of ill repute.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't covered boobs at all, have we?
No, but
No.
you've probably only got one word or two words that you use for
I
those.
have loads of words for boob. My favourite is Babylons.
We could just call it the knock shop.
Yeah, a knock shop. Yeah, Babylons. We haven't covered Babylons at all, so we should move on to those.
Yes.
I think we should uncover
What are
Babylons.
Babylons for listeners out there, Mrs.
We
H?
have seen your hanging gardens of Babylon.
So my Babylons, yes, my very favourite phrase for breasts. I really like the term Babylons. It's
You
nice.
have very nice Babylons.
You do.
Yes.
I
Great
hate that
Babylons,
word.
right? It's great. It's just a nice phrase. I know people refer to them maybe as boobs, knockers, Wally Jumblats, if you're kind of really going
Wally
back. Have you heard of Wally Jumblats?
Jubblies.
Jubblies. Yeah, so Jubblies and great Wally Jumblats.
So Bristol's, I've heard of.
Bristol's.
Like this.
Some of these, I think she's just making up
I
on the
really
spot.
haven't. You Google them. I guarantee you will find them.
I was walking down the road the other day and some golly woggle blom 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 came along. It's like, what the fuck are you talking
It's
about?
a Jubblies, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure she's an expert at improv.
Yes, and
Don't get me started on that.
And then Governor said, well, I'd love to put my face in your googly goblets. And I was like, my googly goblets? What about my clanging ting tang? And he was like, okay, if you'll suck my googly bop bop.
I like the way that all of our improv has the word sort of gobbly gobbly in there.
All right, just
Sound it makes when you-
I remembered a really good British phrase for tits, which is norks.
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 Get your norks out.
Get your norks out. Yeah.
Can you please spell that?
Norks. Get your norks out.
Norks.
Norks. Yeah.
I think everybody in the U.S. just heard knocks, like knockers.
O-C-K-S.
No. Get your norks out.
Get your norks out.
Nork.
Yeah.
Wasn't norks like a
Nanu.
show where they all swam and they had the little snorkels on them?
The Snorks.
Snort. I didn't
Yes,
say
they were like the
snort.
Smurfs, but even more shit.
Underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says Mr. H, getting finally back into his comfort zone of 80s cartoons.
Mr. H, what is your favourite? What's your favourite term for boobs? Boobies.
I like just boobs is just good. It feels sort of vaguely grown up enough to work and not sort
juvenile.
Yeah, but it's also not clinical. I think like breasts feels a bit too feel a bit too sciencey for me.
Yeah, it's not overtly sexual, is it? It's like breasts.
I tend to agree with Mr. H on this one. Like, boobs is kind of that happy medium between a more clinical term and then just like jubblies. You don't want to, like, that's not sexy.
She got machine gun jubblies.
Machine Gun Jubblies, my 12th album, didn't pan out, that one. That was shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like goon bags. Yeah, baby, give me your goon bags. Let me suck on them.
I don't know about that.
Goon bag sounds like the sort of thing that they might put in like cannons for like riot police that they knock you down with.
Yeah, but if you suck on a goon bag, you get drunk, and then once it's empty, you just inflate it back and you can go to sleep on it.
But wait, then how do you do what's the Hills hoist, like the goon bag thing where you like twirl it around?
That's illegal in 4 states.
No.
Now we're all confused.
Well, it's just like cans, like shows cans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cans, yeah. I've heard that.
Cans feels kind of a little bit uncouth, though, to me.
I feel like that too.
Yeah, it is. It's a bogan term, I would say.
I feel like it's tin.
Quite an old-fashioned one is a bosom. Like a heaving
I actually don't like
bosom.
bosom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like tits. I got to be honest. I'm a tits guy.
I like tits.
Only during sex. Afterwards, it's like your booty kin things.
Dirty pillows.
That's very Austin Powers.
Your dirty pillows.
Oh, put your dirty pillows away, love.
Also featured in Carrie, original Carrie.
Original Carrie.
Yeah.
There was no remake of Carrie.
Where Piper Laurie refers to Carrie's boobs. I can see your dirty pillows. That absolutely resonates with me every time. It's like a real derogatory. Yeah, put them away. They're filthy.
Actress who says it.
Yeah, Piper Laurie.
You can
Carrie's mum.
You can name an actress other than an actor other than Sissy Spacek that was in Carrie.
Yeah, of course. I love that film. It's great. And Piper Laurie was particularly like batshit crazy in that movie. I always remember referring to Carrie's boobs as her dirty pillows.
She probably knows the name of the pig whose blood was used to chuck over.
Skip it.
Don't make fun of Jeffrey.
But yeah, dirty pillows is obviously not pleasant, but you do hear them referred to as that.
I don't mind. Dirty pillow sounds a bit
shameful. It's shameful.
No. Outside of that film, it's almost comedic. It's very Austin Powers-y for me. It's kind of like, oh, you got your dirty pillows out.
There's a bit of a joke to it that I don't like. It's funny, but it's not like ha ha funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. Yeah,
definitely.
And I'm trying to think of, like, in the States, it's boobs, boobies, owls. Hooters. Not owls, sorry.
Hooters.
Hooters.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right, I've got to say, what I didn't know is that Mrs. H has got a fucking book under the table and she's been looking at it.
No, I haven't been looking at it up until this point. And now I decided to get
She's got
it out.
crib notes.
No. Up until now, all our words have been things that we compiled. But I thought I would delve into one of my favourite books, which is the Profanosaurus. And
The Profanosaurus. Who is that?
By Roger Melly from Viz.
Sir Robert Inappropriosity?
So it was a fictional character from a comic called Viz in Britain, which is quite lewd and toilet humour. But I loved it.
Think mad, but slightly more grown up and juvenile at the same time.
Oh, like Cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there was a particular character that always came up with really creative swear words.
I like this one. I'm going to read this one out.
So, now he's all over it.
I like this one. A Mr. Jones means, it's 19th century, means penis. Or a butcher who frequently purports that they don't like it up 'em.
I love that. That's great. There are some great phrases I've obviously not had time to cover today.
I am going to refrain from commenting on that one.
There's also a muck spreader.
Oh,
also
yeah.
an arse or a bum.
Yeah. Muff diver. That's a good classic as well.
Yeah. I've got my muff diving badge.
Muff huff, menstruation moodiness or PMT. A period drama, a bloodstrop, or blobstrop, sorry.
Muff. What was it?
Muff huff.
Muff bluff.
Muff huff, as in like Hufflepuff.
Muff huff. I feel like that's when one partner blows into a vagina and then another partner comes in and inhales it like scuba diving.
I've been huffing vaggies all day. Man, I'm so high right now.
So like a sex Hufflepuff. Yeah.
Are you thinking like
Hufflepuff? Brilliant.
Yeah, that's great.
I did a Harry Potter chest, and I'm Mufflepuff.
Mufflepuff.
I'm Mufflepuff.
Hufflemuff.
So dive into the Profanosaurus.
Oh, okay, all right.
And see what you like the look of.
Let's have a look then.
Give us a letter from A to Z, and we'll hit you with an exceptional one.
K.
K.
Okay.
Angel.
King Kong's finger.
Oh my god. Inquiring minds need to know.
King Kong's finger is a turd large enough to flatten a car, an Elvis killer.
That's so much better than what I thought, because I was like, that's when you put...
We've got a good one.
We've got a new one. Smell it, and it smells like bananas.
Can I read this one? This is great.
I'm gonna. You can explain what it is.
All right, okay. You do that.
Purely by chance, we have stomped onto this one, which is kangaroo shagging a space hopper.
Wow,
kangaroo shagging a space hopper.
This is fucking meta.
Yeah.
This is great. So the actual definition is descriptive of the way a shithouse door blows in the wind.
I thought it was when the gentleman shagged Mrs. H.
Well, she was drunk.
Can be kind of spacey.
Yeah.
Bradford, give us a letter.
B for Bradford.
Oof. B for Bradford. All right. Go for it, Mr. H. You find a good one there. Oh, Budgie's tongue. That's great.
Do you want to go with Budgie's tongue?
The Budgie's tongue.
Wait, I just want to say Naughty's face when you said that. He was both like, I'm appalled and I'm intrigued. I feel like he needs to know this.
What do we think the Budgie's tongue is?
What is a Budgie's tongue?
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
Go on, guess.
That's like when your penis oozes out pre-cum, and it's the name of the pre-cum because it makes it stick to the underwear, because you're a budgie smuggler, but it's sticking to your underwear and it's moist and wet and sticky.
That's way more gross than the actual definition. That's gross. No, the Budgie's tongue is
Wait, I can use it in a sentence. Go on. Like, oh my God. Like, the first time I met Angela, I had so much Budgie's tongue that by the time I took my knickers off, they were wet.
As much as your definition is absolutely gold, that is not the definition. All right.
Isn't it?
All right. The Budgie's tongue is a descriptive of a female erectile bit, particularly when her fanny has climbed a little plastic ladder to ring a bell.
Whoa. Say this all again. We need to hear this again.
But slower.
It's a descriptive of the female erectile bit, particularly when her fanny has climbed a little plastic ladder to ring a bell.
Is that how your people mate?
I think it is.
I feel like I need to see a diagram.
Okay.
We'll draw you one and send it.
I'm going to hit you with another B.
All right, go on.
No. Please explain the first B first.
So what part
of the female?
It's an erect clit.
When the clit gets a bit turgid.
and erect.
And
Turgid?
yeah, firm.
That's not
Yeah,
a phrase
yes,
I'd
it is.
use when you talk about attentive,
Turgid
when it stands to attention, when it gets hard, when it gets excited.
Yeah.
Turgid.
What you're looking for Mr. H is turgid. Turgid.
How about rigid? Let's go with rigid.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go with turgid.
All right. So when it gets a little bit,
Mrs. H, has your Janine ever had a pearl get so turgid that it could climb a ladder and ring a bell?
I think the climbing and ladder and ringing a bell is a euphemism for having had an orgasm.
yes.
Oh, of course.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I figured your people would be like, yeah, my Janine just found a hunchback, and the hunchback mounted an Esmeralda.
Well, as bird lovers, you'll like this then. The budgie's tongue. You can keep that.
Sure. We will keep that to ourselves.
I have two for you now. The first one is a Brad.
Oh, lovely.
It's rhyming slang. Give me the, for example, using a sentence. Give me the paper. I'm off for a Brad. It's
Is that
What does that rhyme
is that
with?
a wank? Is that like a masturbation?
That doesn't rhyme.
It's for a dump.
Either.
Oh, poor Brad.
The earth.
What
It's
does it
the
rhyme
earth is-
with?
Can you pass me some moist wipes? I've got a bad case of the Brads.
We haven't
Brad
even-
Pitts. Shits.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And we haven't even covered tagnets and dangleberries yet.
No, we'll get to
we
those.
We can go to those in a minute.
I quite like a box of assorted creams, which I think is, it says, she who has recently been over-accommodating to a number of gentlemen, a promiscuous female with a fanny like a Bill Poster's bucket.
A bottle of Claire.
How many bowls of porridge has the bulldog had at this stage?
A field of oats, dear. A field of oats.
All the oats.
I just wish that the people at home could see Naughty every time he pretends to be a dog in a bowl of porridge. All I'm going to say is suddenly my rusty shower sponge is jealous of Rocket. Because I'm pretty sure that by the time Naughty's done with her rusty shower sponge, it's going to be soaked.
Come on, Bradford. Your rusty shower sponge has always been jealous of Rocket.
Touche.
I really hope Noddy's written all these phrases down because Rocket is in for one hell of a night. All right. I'm going to give you a C now. I've just decided to choose a C. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to go with cum beard. All right.
Oh,
So, I mean, this is pretty wordy. So this is a white coagulated spermiferous goatee beard that is worn by a lady who has helped herself to a double portion of Spangle.
I'm going to say that I'm not sure I understood all of that. Pretty sure I got the gist of it. And
You got the jizz of it.
Taking that.
Can I just say two things? One, Angela found a bottle of wine. And two, where we're from, our flag is called the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right. He almost spit champagne.
Well, I have questions like, why did she stop at a double helping? Why not a triple or a quadruple helping?
Well, there's nothing to stop her going back for multiple helpings, but, you know.
I think
Yeah.
the point is that it's more than a single helping.
More than
Yeah.
a single.
Just beard.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to a new one. This one is Cunt Buster.
Oh, good.
An enormous erection,
that's my
a
favourite Muppet.
diamond cutter. Olivia, using it in this sentence, Olivia was powerless to resist. Her eyes burned into hers, or his eyes burned into hers like sapphires. His strong arms enfolded her softly yielding body as she felt herself being swept away in a whirlwind of passion. Then he dropped his trolleys, revealing a right cunt buster.
So, Mr. Are you reading from like a dictionary type thing, thesaurus-y type thing, or are you actually reading like a 17th century novel?
No, that's my favorite line from any book by Stephanie Myers.
I can only hope it's in the latest offering of Twilight. I hear there's a
But
new
you know
one.
that it's from Edward's perspective.
Do you know?
Check out Mike.
I think the gentleman should pick a letter. The gentleman should pick a letter now.
She's got a new book coming out this year.
I know, but don't look at her.
So 2020 can get worse. All right, gentlemen, pick out a letter.
Pick a letter.
F.
All right. Let's see what we can. All right, there's got to be some good ones in here. Oh, this is a good one. All right. So there's some context to this. The flying pasty. All right. So a pasty, just for context, is a delicious, savoury.
I think they've already
treat.
agreed.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know if pasties was a thing in Australia. So, so the flying pasty. It's pretty gross.
Wait. So for our folks in the U.S., a pasty is a British empanada. So a sad empanada.
Oh, it's not a sad empanada.
So pasties did make it over to the US. So and I'm going to get
as empanadas from Mexico.
No. Lots of the coal miners from Cornwall, from which pasties come from, went to the US to support with it.
Yeah.
Well, they got created in the Cornish pasties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and traditionally the corner of the pasty would be reserved to dip into some like
No, it would have jam in the corner of the pasty,
Yeah.
so you could have your dinner, which
Dessert.
is like meat and potatoes, whatever in the pasty, and then the corner would be like a little dessert, which you'd break off and eat separately.
Absolutely. So bearing that in mind, the flying pasty is poo wrapped in newspaper and then thrown into a neighbour's yard for whatever reason.
Any reason whatsoever, you know.
Just any reason, really.
Throw it over.
Or as we like to call it, a Welsh hello.
What I really love is that the actual text says excrement wrapped, whereas Mrs. H has chosen to go with poo.
Poo.
I went to the doctor and had some bile pulled from my spleen.
I'm going to go with this other F here, which is Forskinzola.
Oh, gosh.
A pungent, unappetizing, mature knobber cheese.
You would need smeg away for that, wouldn't you? Definitely.
My God, I love that, though, with a little bit of pear, walnut, and rocket. It makes a great salad.
You can bake it with rosemary.
Look
It's
at
delicious.
you, baby. Down there in my Zoom window. with Naughty's hand halfway to the promised land.
I think he's finger deep in the promised land.
When your audience of two are so bored that they're fingering one another.
Well, that's stipulated.
All right, we'll have one more F just for the gentleman, and this is fun-bag-tastic. So, upon seeing a glorious pair of flesh bombs, one might utter fun-bag-tastic.
Flesh bomb, those are flesh bombs.
That's my favorite part of that definition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I have just remembered faux pas is
Oh yes, front, upper,
yes.
fat upper PP area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the P varies. It could be pubic, it could be pussy, but yeah, the fat upper pubic area, the bloated lower belly of a woman, or a gunt.
Or a what?
A gunt.
Gunt.
Yeah.
Dangerously close to the cunt.
Yeah. Almost touching in some cases. Any other letters?
Yeah. Throw a letter at us.
X. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Okay. There must be some good XXXs.
X is not a gold mine of information here, I'm
No,
going to
there's
be
only a
honest.
few, but we've got a couple.
You're only one.
Okay. X piles. Mysterious, unidentified throbbing objects from Uranus.
I mean, but Mulder believes.
Now he wants to believe.
He wants to believe.
He wants to believe. There's also xylophone, which I like the description of. Like a piano, but you twat it with little sticks.
Did you say, but you twat it? With
Yeah,
little
twat it.
sticks?
Yeah, twat it.
We discussed the word twat last night.
Twat
when we were
can also
making
mean
this
hit.
list. Yeah, twat, like swat, twat it.
Did
Like you
never
twat it, you twat the
that.
ball. But I think you guys, or Americans, may describe it as twat. I've heard it described
Yes.
as twat. And we always say twat.
But
The-
twat is a body part, not hit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever an action.
It's never a verb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes on to say, to move along a line of naked women who are all bending down and spank the bottoms, which are of varying sizes, with one's penis to play a tune on women's buttocks. From the Greek xylo, wood, and phonicus, to hit tunefully.
That's great.
I love that there's a from the Greek.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah, it's got history.
I don't think that's accurate, but I'll allow it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think Noddy and Rocket should give us a letter.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
S.
All right.
S, you say.
Oh, what's there's that? I just like the word. Oh, there's some brilliant ones here. Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right. To slip her a crippler. It's a
Say that again, please.
slip her a crippler.
Oh, that's a giant penis. Yeah, that's a fun dragon size.
It's,
No,
it's
no,
one that
that's-
means you can't walk the next morning.
Oh, no,
Exactly
Correct.
right. Correct,
All
Angela.
the points to Angela there. Absolutely.
Oh,
What
Yeah.
was your? What did you think?
I
it
thought
was?
when you were having like vaginal sex and then you accidentally slip one in your ass.
That's also pretty good.
Not for her.
No.
I think I'm going to go with snail's doorstep. So
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The whole whale trail thing.
yeah, so to be as wet as an otter's pocket.
To be as wet as an otter's pocket.
I like that.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
That-
what you said.
I mean, otter's pocket you can get on a greeting card pretty much over here. So
Well, to be fair, you've missed out the first bit, which I also quite like.
the clapping fish.
A clapping
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
that is as wet as an otter's pocket.
not available on the greeting card.
I want that on our business cards. We make we make snail. What was it?
Snail's doorstep.
Snail's doorstep.
We create snails' doorsteps. Clapping fish as wet as an otter's pocket. I feel like we should be part of a zoo.
You should be. I'm going to go with snookered behind the red,
Good choice.
which is unable to sink the pink due to the time of the month. The only pot is on a difficult brown.
That seems fair.
If we don't put that on a bumper sticker,
Oh my god, I love that.
oh my god.
Oh god, right, okay. We must have a really good. Do we still want S, or have we got another letter from?
No, naughty. What's a number? What number? What's a number? You know, with that you spell with.
A W.
That is that is a number you spell with. It's a 3 on its back, so it's got its legs up in the air.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, all right, okay. We're gonna go with wank seance.
Wank.
Oh my
wank
god, is that what
seance.
you talk to your parents, but with semen?
So, whilst masturbating, the eerie feeling that one is being watched disapprovingly by dead relatives, also known as the Doris Stokes.
So does anybody else feel that way? Like you know, we've got
I just have a feeling that all of my dead relatives would be proud of me when I'm doing that.
I feel like my grandmother is always looking down on me and going, "He could do better."
I always feel like the power of my ancestors are running through me whilst I'm stroking one off.
Oh, God.
I can just imagine this age. I have the power!
Yeah, it's like Highlander. There can be only one.
Oh, there's the Welsh Mist.
He's a fucking Jedi, and I feel like, I don't know, an extra from, I feel like an Oompa Loompa. Ugh.
That's right, we'll have one of yours first.
No, you can go for you've decided to announce Welsh Mist into the world.
I thought Welsh Mist just jumped out at me then. The Welsh Mist is a particularly dense, clammy bottom burp, which hovers around ankle level and chills the bones.
There's a lot going on in that.
Wow.
There is a lot going on in there.
Ankle level is much better than nose level, though.
I'm going to go with waving a sausage in the Albert Hall.
Very lovely.
I'm sure we can all figure out what it is, but I like the description. To stick one's cock in a fanny that can seat 5,000 people and the London Symphony Orchestra.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great. We can also have...
But arguably, the acoustics are fucking amazing.
It sounds great.
We can also have a wankerchief, which is a jizz sock or a wanky hanky.
Cum rag.
Yeah, cum rag. Yeah, wankerchief, if you want to be really polite.
If you want to get your own wanky hanky, you can support us on Patreon.
Some of them aren't even used when they send them out.
Some of them are. It's like a lottery. It's great.
Yeah. Shall we go with one more? One more?
Yes.
One more, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Someone choose a letter.
Mrs. H, you choose a letter. What's your favorite letter?
H.
Oh!
Yeah, let's have H. Yeah.
Oh, she was like, why? Oh, yeah, that's why.
All right. We're going to have H. And I think Mr. H is going to choose something exceptional.
Am I? There's no...
Yeah, there's some amazing things in here. Oh, this is great. All right, okay. All right. The Hunt for Brown October.
If it doesn't include Sean Connery or Sean Connery's voice, I don't want to be part of it.
Isn't it
The act of seeking out and destroying a U-bend.
A what?
A what?
A U-bend. Oh, do we maybe...
A U-bend
Oh, you
U-boat.
guys have B-days. I don't know. So basically, I guess a poo that won't flush.
Who's the one flush?
But do you have to speak like Sean Connery during this time? I feel like you should.
Yes. I'll take S words for 500.
Mr. H, which is your favourite H?
This is tricky.
There's some pretty good ones here.
It's a tricky one because there's so many
Excellent H's.
I think you should read this one out because I think this will be amusing. Plus, it's got a lot of words in it.
Oh my god! Hanging out the back of. All right, doggy style sex. What am I to do, Jeeves? I blustered. I've got myself engaged to Agatha and Marjorie. This really is the worst pickle of my entire puff. Don't worry, sir, soothed the sage retainer. I shall arrange it for that Miss Wegprosser walks in and finds you hanging out the back of Miss Lola Latiz from the Prince of Wales Theatre's burlesque production. Woof! Woof! From Got in Himmel Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse.
What?
I don't know. He just made me read it.
But
I enjoyed it.
But can anybody explain to me why the woof woof?
I don't know.
Woof is if you've ever seen Blackadder, it's quite a phrase of excitement, I guess.
Yeah, it's like woof.
Woof.
I'd love to tickle her tonsils or something to those effects.
I love a lady with sideburns. Give me something to hang on to. Woof. Something like that.
Yeah. It's to be very turned on. Woof.
People don't have ears.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They gotta have sideburns.
Right.
Oh, there you go. That was the wandering through our lexicon.
That
I feel like I have learned so much.
was something.
That one has forever changed my view of doggy style. Where once upon a time I viewed doggy style as, me being slid on and off. Now I view it as him hanging out the back of him.
I thought there was
That's fucking beautiful.
Yes.
I thought there was going to be a strap-on joke coming there, but it really didn't land.
Woof. Yeah, this has been enlightening.
Thank you for educating us.
It's definitely been an
I dare say
education.
we all learned something today.
And I dare say that the people who hate our Urban Dictionary episodes will hate this as well. Yeah, they'll hate this as well. And you know what? I got to be honest. I don't care. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like I pulled a muscle and I didn't even stand up. So, number one, I want to thank very much our amazing, fantastic, gorgeous audience, Naughty and Rocket, out in West Australia. We appreciate your all's. Look, you listen to the podcast. Why would you want to put up with it live? So thank. But we do appreciate your comments, your jokes. Your shit was funny. Good stuff. I'm pretty sure that people will be like, why do you guys not get them to talk more? Conversely, the bed hoppers, I'm pretty sure that your listeners are going to be like, why did you do this? This was a mistake. You've made a huge mistake, and now you're part of the by lexicon, and we're going to be like, by this so long. They're wrong as well. So, yeah, thank you guys very much. Bed hoppers, of course, also Naughty and Rocket out in Australia, West Australia. We definitely appreciate your all's input, your fucking hilarious commentary.
And I'm just really impressed with the breadth of the British terms and how many there are.
I'm very much looking forward to doing this in German and French and Spanish. Yeah, I mean, my German, French, and Spanish are going to have to get much better, but yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been absolutely wonderful.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Please kill me.
Okay, so at least half of you had fun.
Very interesting.
I mean, look, if nothing else, we all of us, both the group that's listening here, the people at home, now have a text tone for their phones of Mrs. H saying pussy multiple times.
Yeah, I said it a few times.
A few times you did. So, yeah, thank you very much. And, of course, as always, thank you to the gentleman for stopping by. Yay!
And for completely not getting half of the references and making it your own.
Which, admittedly, I'm a little surprised at that because a lot of Australian terms and a lot of Australian culture comes from Britain. So I thought that the gentleman would be like pretty well, I know almost all of these.
Well, there was some that I got.
Yeah.
But a lot that I didn't.
And some that you made up, like the pink hobo. Particularly enjoy the pink hobo.
The rusty shower sponge. That was
the rusty shower sponge.
That was exceptional.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So for everybody at home who's listening who doesn't care, your Urban Dictionary entry, what's it at now?
I think it's at 9.
9 likes.
Wait, let's look it up.
What was it?
It was the European wank.
9 likes. Yep.
So currently, European wank on Urban Dictionary is at 9 likes. I know I'm one of those. Angela's one of those. You're like 4 of those because you logged in on. So even
I think I'm 7 of those actually.
Even the people on this call haven't liked. Like nobody's upvoting that, buddy.
Was it on an Urban Dictionary one?
It was.
It is now. He entered it on Urban Dictionary, our last Urban Dictionary call, and he begged our listeners to go to Urban Dictionary and like it, which goes to show you how many people listen to our Urban Dictionary. As there are currently 9, and we're pretty sure Angela and I are 2, and he is 7. So this many people have listened to this podcast.
I reckon he spent some time convincing kids that he saw just, can you just log into this and just like this for me, please?
Yeah.
It's while playing the final countdown. Masturbate profusely, taking yourself close to the point of orgasm. Call out in your loudest voice for the highest person in power to see you immediately. The goal being to achieve orgasm before said person arrives.
That's the same as a danger wank.
And then to use it in a sentence, I took the European wank at work today and blew out on my boss's pants.
But you have to type the, otherwise you don't find it. If you just look for European wank,
There you go, podcast listeners. This is what happened that none of you all typed the. I don't think that's the case.
We need to
I don't think so.
log it again.
I don't think so. Look, man, you're back at a failed horse. I mean, you're not a marketing genius.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show, like, you just put anything on Urban Dictionary, can't you?
You can, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You can. Which is why we expect a Mrs. H, a royal Mrs. H, to be something that somebody puts on Urban.
I dread to think what the Mrs. H.
That's where you're really, really confused, but you carry on giving head anyway.
Never in the back of a soccer mom vehicle.
No, that's where you slip on slick tiles, bust your head open, and are robbing 3 guys 2 days later. When you inspire the phrase, I can take a cock, but I can't take a compliment.
Correct.
Yes. Also a popular t-shirt available at stores now.
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you so much for everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Where can people find the Bed Hoppers?
In a gutter.
Yeah, we're pretty much rifling through your bins right now. But if you want to head to Bedhoppers Suck on Twitter or bedhoppersuck@gmail.com, you can email us as well. We're on Double Date Nation for swingers, all sorts of different places. So just type in Bedhoppers on Google, but do remember to delete your browser history. Thank you.
You can find By the By. We are at By the By Podcast everywhere that we should be, all your naughty places. Which is in your grandmother's closet, in your own bathroom, in your linen closet, and sometimes often under your bed. We are at By the By Podcast. Email us, the atoms of love. Yeah, baby. We are atoms and we are love. The atoms of love @gmail.com. We love all your like sexy, questions, comments, and rude remarks. Bye.